The Gamer Pastor. In this unit, we bring together the previous 3 units into a singular concept of pastoral gaming. One definition of pastoral care could be the practices used by pastors to care for the emotional, spiritual, and social health of individuals in their congregations. All humans, to some extent, provide pastoral care to others. Some are called by God into this ministry to provide pastoral care in a specific context, in our case, gaming culture. Even fewer are called by God into ordained ministry to take responsibility for providing this care to others. Pastors display unconditionally positive regard. To have an unconditionally positive regard means that you accept someone for who they are, as they are, without judgment for the actions they've taken. Pastors are a non-anxious presence. This means that pastors identify their own anxieties and emotions and process them with healthy, differentiated methods that are separate from the emotions of those with whom they work. There are many practices and disciplines involved in pastoral care, but most of them could be summed up in the following 3 categories. Pastors observe by listening to both verbal and nonverbal communication. We are fully present to the people in our space, and we differentiate enough to see each person as a distinct human being without stereotype or without prejudgment based on prior actions. We paraphrase the words that are spoken in the midst of our games. We ask clarifying questions without passing judgment, and we work towards helping our people identify not just their feelings, but where in their bodies their feelings are being felt. We assess what belief is contributing to a difficult situation. We name the belief that's driving the behavior, and we either accept it or challenge it in an appropriate way. For any pastor, the Holy Spirit is the counselor. The Holy Spirit forms each of us directly. Pastors can be coaches. Pastors can be conduits of the Holy Spirit for a life-giving relationship. Pastors are mutual learners with others and understand that they too are growing and evolving into the best versions of themselves. But pastors are not therapists. Gamer pastors are those who limit their pastoral care to the specific environment of a gaming community. The gamer pastor is a catalyst for a brave space that makes room for all people. Games are just tools, whether they are laid out on a table, played out in our imaginations, or experienced through the wonders of technology. Our brave spaces are set with safeguards in the form of policies, covenants, and practices that maintain healthy communication. We identify and accept or challenge behaviors and the beliefs that drive them. We respond to incidents immediately and appropriately and are willing to rumble through an incident as a community, knowing that formation and reconciliation is the goal, not the ease of embarrassment. To claim the role of a gamer pastor or to plant a pastoral gaming environment requires some visioning. Once the paperwork is done, the gamer pastor's work begins, providing attentive care to our people as they rumble through their own inner work. The only equation I ever needed in organizing my thoughts and my approach to pastoral care is the following. Most places want us to be happy. And the problem is that we confuse happiness with pleasure. So what are we really trying to do? What we're trying to get to is a state of contentment. And to feel contentment, the following things need to be in place. One is that you need moments of joy. That joy is an emotion that does not happen outside of the few seconds as other emotions do. You also need to have a purpose. This is where religion comes into play. What role does your life and your work fill to the greater purpose of the universe, to the greater purpose of your community? What brings meaning into your life? And the third part is expertise. You need to be doing something that you're good at, something that you enjoy, something that you love, something that you can do without doubting yourself while you do it. So you put these 3 things together, moments of joy, having a purpose or meaning, and displaying your expertise. And if you can live with those 3 things at the forefront of your work, then you reach a state of contentment. In my work with children and youth and their families over the course of 20-something years in the church, I found that working those 3 elements, joy, purpose, expertise, helping people to find ways to bring whichever one of those is missing in their lives back into it, leads them to a place of contentment. They don't have to be happy all the time, but they can be content all the time or regularly. And this is what we do as pastors. Another part that we do as pastors is evangelism. We take the equations, we take the pastoral care out into the world. Marketing and advertising can help build a gaming community, but in my experience, word of mouth and ensuring people have an authentic, hospitable, brave, and rewarding experience is more valuable than any gimmick or scheme. Evangelism happens through witness, and this requires a team of people who not only believe in Christian doctrine, but practice it openly and confidently. My D&D group doubled in size, and all I did was add a younger married couple who understood that caring for the players was the point of the game. Leaders who are willing to take on the pastor role are gifts to the entire community. More pastors mean more people can be affected by our unconditionally positive, non-anxious presence. More pastors make more space to build a positive, healthy relationship. When a team approaches pastoral care and identify those things in ourselves and our environment and our larger community that inhibit positive, healthy relationships, then confront them, we can work together and find reconciliation. Too often, the difficult students are the difficult personalities that are offloaded because it's easier to make them feel unwelcome and not deal with the difficulty of the relationship than it is to actually work through our communication styles or our behaviors or our beliefs. But this is also the most destructive thing a gaming community can do. And removing a person from its membership rather than doing the hard work of finding space for everyone. Most times, the students who come to my game spaces do so because they haven't found a place in other areas for whatever reason, which means it's paramount, vastly important, that we be flexible enough to make homes for all of Christ's people and not just the easy ones, whatever that means. The gamer pastor is first and foremost present to a person, compassionate to their behavior, empathetic to their beliefs, brave enough to challenge those beliefs, whether they're rooted in pain or trauma, and is willing to accept when their role ends and a more qualified, trained individual is needed.